Hello everyone. Today we're talking about one of the most naturally gifted footballers of the last 2 decades. A player whose dribbling looked like a street football. A player whose technique made defenders look helpless. And a player that many coaches once believed could become one of the best in the world. But today, many football fans barely remember how incredible he once was. Before we start, I want you to play along with this video. Try to guess the player we're talking about. Write your guess in the comments. And if you figure it out, tell me what minute of the video you realize who it was. Let's see who gets it first. Our story begins in France. The player was born in 1987 in Clamart, France, in a suburb just outside Paris. His father was originally from Tunisia, and like many immigrant families living in the Paris suburbs, football quickly became a huge part of his life. From a very young age, he spent most of his time playing football on the streets and small local pitches. Not organized football, just street football. The kind where kids play for hours with friends, inventing tricks, trying to not make each other and learning creativity instead of tactics. And this is where his playstyle was born. Even as a child, people noticed that he played differently. He loved dribbling, he loved humiliating defenders, and he loved trying things that most young players wouldn't even attempt. By the time he was around 10 years old, local coaches already believed he was something special. His first youth clubs included smaller teams around Paris, but it didn't take long before bigger academies started paying attention. Eventually, he joined La Fontaine, the most famous football academy in France. La Fontaine is not just another training center, it's the place where France develops its biggest talents in players like Thierry Henry, Mathieu D, and Kylian Mbappe. All passed through Fontaine. Only the most talented teenagers in the country were selected, and when this player arrived here, coaches immediately saw something extraordinary. Former youth coaches described him as one of the most technically gifted players they had ever seen. His balance, control, and creativity were on another level, but there was already something else about him, something that would follow him for the rest of his career. He was extremely confident, sometimes too confident. During his teenage years, he became part of the incredibly talented France youth generation, a generation that includes players like Karim Benzema, Samir Nasri, Jeremy Menez. All of them will eventually become stars in European football, but many scouts believe that this particular player might actually have the highest ceiling of them all, because technically he was unbelievable. One youth coach said, "Some players learn tricks in training. He was born with them." But even at that age, there were already signs of trouble. He often argued with his teammates. He sometimes refused to follow tactical instructions, and discipline was never his strongest quality. Eventually, he joined the youth academy of the Olympique Lyonnais. At that time, Lyon were the dominant force in French football. They won 7 Ligue 1 titles in a row in the 2000s. Breaking into their first team was extremely difficult, but the young winger eventually made his professional debut here. Even surrounded by experienced players, his talent was obvious. Fans quickly noticed how comfortable he looked with the ball. He played with the confidence of someone who believed he could beat any defender, and sometimes he actually did. Watching him play felt different. He didn't look like a typical tactical winger. He looked like someone who had brought street football into a professional stadium. He attempted nutmegs. He dribbled past multiple defenders. Sometimes he tried moves that even his own teammate didn't expect. When it worked, it was beautiful. When it didn't, coaches were not always happy. Because while his attacking creativity was incredible, his defensive work was often criticized. After emerging from Lyon's academies and making his professional breakthrough with Olympique Lyon, his next move shocked many fans. He was not just a promising young talent at that point. He was one of France's most exciting attacking prospects, drawing attention from clubs across Europe. According to multiple reports at the time, big clubs were watching him closely, including Manchester United, Milan, and even Chelsea, who were rebuilding under a focus on flair and youth talent. But instead of moving abroad to an elite European club, he chose to stay in France, and not just at any club. He signed for Marseille. the domestic rival of Lyon. For many fans, especially Lyon supporters, this felt like a betrayal, like choosing the sworn enemy over loyalty to the club that developed him. At Lyon, he had risen through the ranks, winning titles, earning praise from coaches and fans alike, and becoming one of the most brightest prospects in the French football. But Marcel was where the spotlight was even bigger. It wasn't just a new contract, it was a transfer that increased expectation massively. Suddenly, everyone believed he would become a superstar, not only in League One but in European football as a whole. Marseille fans expected the next big playmaker to lead them to domestic success and continental runs. But despite flashes of brilliance, consistency remained a problem, and the move, which seemed like the ultimate step to greatness, became the first step in a long, turbulent career. His personality continued to cause problems. He had several conflicts with coaches and teammates, and consistency became a major issue. In 2010, he moved to England and joined Newcastle United. And this is where the football world saw one of the most incredible moments of his career. During a Premier League match against Bolton Wanderers, he picked up the ball near the halfway line. He began running forward. Defenders tried to stop him, but he kept dribbling one defender, then another and another. He ran through almost the entire defense and calmly finished the move with the goal. It instantly became one of the most famous goals in Newcastle's modern history. Moments like this reminded everyone just how talented he really was. A year later, he had another incredible moment in his career. In 2015 and 2016 season with Nice. That year, he looked like a completely different player, confident and creative, dangerous every time he touched a ball. He scored 17 league goals and produced some spectacular performances. For a moment, it looked like his career was finally reaching the level everyone else expected. That season earned him a move to Paris Saint-Germain, one of the biggest clubs in Europe. But the move to PSG didn't go as a plan. Conflicts with coaches, questions about discipline, and limited playing time. Slowly, his career began fading away. After PSG, he played for several clubs, including Rennes, Valladolid, and Bordeaux, but he never truly reached the level that his talent once promised. And the player we were talking about is Hatem Ben Arfa, a footballer whom many believe was one of the most technically gifted dribblers of his generation, but also one of the most mysterious careers in modern football. Because in football, talent alone is never enough. Some players become legends through trophies, others become legends through moments, and even so, his career never reached the heights many expected. Hatem Ben Arfa will always be remembered by fans for one thing, the magic he brought to the game and the kind of talent the streets will never forget. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. See you in the next video. This is Ice Cold Finish.